To visit Sweden today is to take a step back in time to a world we lived in a little over 6 months ago, when people walked and mixed in city centres and not one of them even thought about wearing a mask. From the beginning, the Swedes refused to follow the rest of Europe into total lockdown. The result was one of the highest per capita death tolls in Europe. But as the virus re-emerges elsewhere, is it storming back here?
We enter into the pandemic isolation room.
It's empty.
It's empty.
The intensive care unit in Stockholm's biggest hospital gives you the answer. Overwhelmed in the spring, it's now deserted. Just 2 intensive care COVID patients in the whole city. So much spare capacity, they're offering to take patients from elsewhere in Europe. So what is going on?
The regulations that were put in place, they were enough for people to tolerate, and being able to tolerate them also makes it sustainable over time.
So you avoided this stop-start that you've seen in some countries of very strict restrictions, then lifting and then putting them back on again.
Yeah, that would be another way of seeing.
There have been suggestions that having had so many infections, Swedes now enjoy herd immunity. But even the man who's led Sweden's response and who Boris Johnson now goes to for advice says that is not what's happening.
Do you have herd immunity in Sweden?
No, we don't have herd immunity in the classical sense that you get when you vaccinate people. We are probably rather far from that.
And saying let it rip, that's not right.
No, and we have not. I mean, this has never been the goal and it's never really been anywhere in our tactics.
As Stockholm's ferry commuters continue to mix unmasked and without any apparent fear, it's clear that light lockdown measures here are both supported and sustainable.
But some leading Swedish scientists are warning that this country got it wrong before and may be about to do so again. That compared to other Nordic countries, Sweden is not doing particularly well, and that if it doesn't tighten up soon, things may only be heading one way.
Sweden has so far fared fairly well in the fall, but yesterday there was the first real alarm. It's going up fairly rapidly now in Stockholm, and they are considering changing the recommendations.
Measures such as shutting pubs early may not be needed. This was typical of Stockholm nightlife at 10 o'clock last night. And that may be part of the secret. Swedes do live and relax rather differently and rather further apart.